Does your privacy matter to you? How would you feel if your personal medical records were accessible to everyone? Would it make you mad or embarrassed that anyone could see the files in your records and maybe your treatments and your diagnosis? HIPAA is the primary law regulating privacy and security for health information, according to Rutherford. HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It was an act that was signed into law to help regulate the transfer of electronic and paper health information. The bill was signed into effect in 1996 by President Bill Clinton. Before HIPAA, privacy was a big concern in the medical field. When you went to a hospital, you could walk down the hallway and you could see people's names on the doors. You could see their doctor's name and possibly even their treatments or what they were being treated for. And for some people, this was uncomfortable. And there was a need for more privacy in the healthcare setting. So they created this law. So why should your health information be kept private, and why should this matter to you? At some point, you or a loved one will either be a patient in a hospital or a doctor's office, maybe at the dentist. You get medicine from a pharmacy. All of these places enforce the law of HIPAA. It is important that you know your rights as a patient and as a citizen. You have a right to be informed. You have a right to your autonomy, which means making informed decisions about your health. You can make those decisions for yourself. You should be able to make those decisions for yourself. You have a right to refuse treatment or to get a second opinion. According to Hickson, patients can request a copy of their medical records, know how it is being used, and make informed decisions about their health care. These are all rights that everyone should know. They're important, and sometimes if you don't know these rights, there's not anybody that's just standing there telling you them. You may not realize that you have so much say in your medical health, but you do. Let's talk about why privacy is so important. According to Wilkes, a study done at Vanderbilt University Center for Patient Professional Advocacy, patients were less likely to share medical information if they felt that their confidentiality was being compromised. If you don't feel comfortable with your doctor or your dentist or whoever you're seeing, then you're less likely to get the proper treatment. You are less likely to get the proper diagnosis. And medical errors can lead to worse illnesses. You could, possibly could be fatal depending on how serious it is. So you should feel comfortable being in the presence of your doctor or the nurse or whoever is with you. You should feel comfortable telling them the whole truth. There should not be an issue where you feel like that you can't tell them everything that they need to know to help you. Violations of HIPAA. Anyone can violate HIPAA. It's not just people in the medical field. Anyone can violate HIPAA and violate somebody's privacy by telling things that the person doesn't want them to share. Social media is a prime example of HIPAA violating. If you get on Facebook or Twitter and your sister is having surgery and you get on there without her permission and you tell everybody all about her surgery without asking her permission, in essence, you've violated her privacy rights. And before you do things like that, you should really stop and consider how it's going to make that person feel if they didn't tell you it was okay. Maybe they're going to feel embarrassed. Maybe they didn't want everybody to know. So before you post on social media, it's really important to consider how that person is going to be affected by you telling those things. And a lot of times it's innocent and you don't mean any harm, but you should really consider the feelings of that person before you post on social media. Other ways of violating HIPAA, leaning more into the medical realm of things, is unauthorized access to medical records. If I am your nurse, I can see your medical records and I have to respect them and treat them with privacy. But if my best friend is in the hospital and I am not her nurse, I do not have legal authority to look at her documents at all. And if I get caught looking at her documents, then I have violated the law of HIPAA and I could be in a lot of trouble. In fact, according to Pickerton, HIPAA violations can result in fines ranging from $100,000 to $25,000, loss of license, and jail time. And on top of that, I would be out of a job and my reputation would be tarnished because I had done something that was not what I was supposed to do. I tarnished my integrity as a nurse by looking at files that I had no business looking at. In conclusion, I think that it is important to make it everyone's mission to know about your rights in your healthcare situation. You should be able to make informed decisions. You should feel comfortable with your doctor or your dentist or whoever you're seeing for any type of care. You should feel comfortable being able to tell them what's really going on with you so that they can make the best decision for you and your health. And I also think that it is very important that we should think before we post on social media sites. They're out there for the world to see. Once you put it out there, you might delete it, but you can never really take it back. And according to Frank, HIPAA is a tool to help protect our First Amendment right. We should use that tool to the best of our ability and be thankful that in America we have this right to our privacy and protection. You want to watch it? I felt like it went better. I got worried.